What's going on, you guys? Welcome back
Nothing.
to another video. Did you say nothing?
No.
This is staying in. I'm not cutting this out. Welcome back to another video. In this episode, we'll be talking about the episode 6 of Survivor 50, the merge episode. Here with me today, just like last time, is Aidan and Robilotta. How you doing today, Aidan?
Still here. Still here.
Yeah, see, for you guys, it's been an entire day since the last one was posted. For me and Aidan, it's been about 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also 10 o'clock at night. We're doing great.
And a conversation about Dylan O'Leary.
And a conversation. Shout out Dylan O'Leary. We had an entire conversation about you and how we haven't seen you in a long time.
Miss that man.
Visit us. Anyway, so this episode, a lot happened. We had a new twist called the Blood Moon, which we'll get into. And yeah, let's just go straight into it. Starting off at the Cirie tribe.
Yes.
Rizo is super proud of his move. He just got Charlie voted out last episode. He's proud about it.
Project Bad Blood, if I'm correct.
Something like that, yeah. Jonathan says he's open to working with Dee and Kamilla moving forward, even though they just betrayed his trust.
Yep.
And that's when a boat starts approaching the Cirie camp, and another boat is approaching the Callow camp.
I think that's a coincidence.
Both boats have an envelope, and in that envelope it says that the tribes are merging and that they have however long to pack up their stuff and get on the boat.
5 or 10 minutes.
Something like that, yeah. And they're all going to the Vaatu camp. It's going to be a 17-person merge.
Largest in history.
Biggest merge in history. Modern day Survivor casts are only 18 people.
Yeah.
So we have one less than that in a merge. What were your thoughts when you first heard that, Aidan?
When it just clicked in my head that it's not the original 24-person cast. So when I first saw stay tuned for next week's episodes on Survivor, and it was already the merge, I'm like, that makes sense. But then once it was actually the season, I'm like, this is a lot of people.
Yeah, it's huge.
And I thought, some of these people, never mind, I said this yesterday, or 5 minutes ago.
Or, yeah, whichever one it is.
Yep.
But yeah, it's you might be thinking, how can you fit 17 photos on one slide for your little presentation here, Anderson? The answer is, if you spend 2 hours making a slide and cramming everyone in.
Yes.
Which you will see shortly. But first,
Favorites in the front.
Ozzy tells Emily about his idol. She says she won't tell anyone. Whether or not she'll actually not tell anyone is a whole other story.
I found it very humorful that within the first 15 minutes, everyone knew about every advantage.
Yeah, we'll get there. It got to the point where I stopped writing stuff down because I just couldn't keep track of it anymore. Ozzy tells Christian that he has an idol as well, and gives Christian a shot in the dark back. So Ozzy basically just trying to gain trust with his old tribe mates before this merge. Yep. Ozzy wants to work with Christian and Emily moving forward, and that's when the boats arrive and everyone is officially merged on, if it goes, the Manalevu tribe. And I need to move our cameras out of the way because we're currently blocking everything. There we go.
Sorry.
Oh, look at you go, Aidan. Your head's right above Rick Devens.
Rick Devens. Rick Devens.
I said you're above Rick Devens.
Oh. Was I just saying hi to you?
You were just looking at me. That's all that happened. Look. If you look up and wave, and I look down and wave, we're waving at each other.
Wow, this 21st century technology is insane.
I know. So before we get into what happened when the tribes merged, let's just take a look at what these pre-existing relationships from the first 2 tribe swaps look like going into this. We have Chrissy, who's aligned with Coach, but Chrissy doesn't really have anyone else with Coach, other than Coach. Then Coach has is kind of with Joe, Colby, and Jonathan, and also has Aubry. Joe is the only other person is Colby. And then Aubrey's only other person is Tiffany. Tiffany also has Dee. And then Dee, Kamilla, and Jonathan are kind of a 3, but also not really because Dee and Kamilla and Cirie and Rizo have their 4. And then Colby's kind of surrounded with everyone because he has Coach, Joe, Genevieve, Stephenie, and Rizo with him. And then Rizo comes with Cirie. Cirie has a thing with Ozzy as well as having a thing with Rizo. Stephenie also has a thing with Ozzy and Colby and Genevieve. Genevieve has Colby and Stephenie. Ozzy has Cirie, Stephenie. And then also he has his new relationships with Emily and Christian. And then Vic, surprisingly, doesn't really have any solid connections other than Emily and Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Vic's kind of on his own, which was surprising to me when I was looking through this and figuring everything out. So it for a lot of it is like everyone's tied to everyone somehow. It's just which way where's the lines gonna be drawn? What are your thoughts on this lovely diagram?
Horizontally and vertically. I'm kidding. I think that people will have ideas in their head that will be prevented and more than not appreciated, prevented more than reassured with their alliance mates.
Yeah, there's a lot of relationships going on
in the future.
Yeah, there's a lot of relationships going on, both pre-existing and new, and it's gonna be chaos. Vic and Christian are reunited. This is when Vic and Christian finally do their plan of telling Aubry that Vic sent her the idol instead of Christian sending her the idol like it actually happened. Cirie tells Genevieve about Aubrey's idol. And now all of a sudden everyone knows Aubry has an idol.
And their mother.
Genevieve then tells Ozzy that his idol came from her, and that Rizo helped with that decision. And now somehow everyone knows that Ozzy also has an idol. It's information spreading so quickly to where I can't even keep track of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Genevieve keeps a secret, though, that she sent an idol to Rizo. Rizo asks her about it. She says, no, I didn't, even though she did. Cirie tells Ozzy about Rizo's idol, but they're the only ones that know. That doesn't circulate any further. Cirie tells Ozzy that she told Rizo about the extra vote as well. Cirie is closest with Rizo and Ozzy. She says that she's having a polyamorous relationship with them. Coach sees that Jonathan has an 8-pack. And Coach says Jonathan is what he wanted to be on his first season.
Mm-hmm.
Almost, I kid you not, literally almost everyone runs to Jonathan to make an alliance.
That's fair. I would.
And then I just wrote, I have no idea who's working with who anymore. Because I just simply could not keep track of it anymore. And then a boat arrives at the island, and there's an envelope again. The envelope says, hidden in the jungle, there's a twist that can change everything. Whoever finds it first gets it. And then immediately, everyone takes off running.
As they should. Well, not everyone.
Rizo's walking slowly, and he walks right by it without even knowing.
That was funny.
Colby can't run because of his off-screen injury.
Mm-hmm.
Christian is looking hard, and he has a method. He goes landmark, tree, nook. So he's looking for a landmark, then he's looking for a tree nearby, then he's looking for a nook in the tree. And he's just working methodically through that. Ozzy stops running for a second to take a look around, and he immediately finds it while looking slowly. And he finds out, he reads that him and someone else of his choice are going to Exile Island. And he takes Rizo with him. Rizo is scared about this, but they go off to Exile Island, and they are safe from the chaos that is about to happen. They arrive at a challenge, and they are told that they are being split up into 3 groups for a twist that's never been done before. It's called the Blood Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff says that 3 players will go home from tonight, 1 from each group, and 1 player from each group will be safe for after the challenge. Also, on top of immunity, the challenge is also for reward. Whichever group's winning member stays up the longest between the three groups will win Applebee's for their entire group. The Applebee's reward is back.
This gave me the flashback.
Thoughts on Applebee's?
Well, personally, I go for the triple dipper.
Okay.
But this, I was very happy that, I forgot her name, but the one girl that got really mad at Q. Mm-hmm. Which, do you remember that?
No, because I didn't see that season.
Well, probably the biggest crash out in Survivor history. And because, like, Q just blindsided this girl. I forgot her name, but it was hilarious. She was screaming. It was like, her to Applebee's was Dee to Zach Bryan.
That's a good analogy.
The way she really wanted it. And, Q won the challenge, and everyone was like, saying, oh, well, he's probably going to give it to her, and he didn't. But I will always say, if she really wants this challenge, she has to win it.
Fair enough. I mean, it is Survivor.
I know that's easier said than done, but then she got so mad at Q, yelled for a constant 20 minutes. And I was just like, she's annoying. And then she ended up not even making the jury, I believe.
Perfect. Jeff then goes into describing all the food in detail, and that made me hungry. So when I was in the city the other day, at the Survivor Museum at the Paley Center, I then after that went to the largest Applebee's in the world and had some food.
I've been there a few times.
It was great. I got some mozzarella sticks. I got some the pretzel stick things.
Oh yes.
And then I got a cheeseburger.
Of course.
Yeah, it was great. Anyways, then Jeff tells them that there's one more thing that he forgot to mention.
That he forgot, yes.
The jury will start after tonight, which means that the 3 people who go home will not be on the jury.
That was big.
I saw it coming because before this episode in my head, I heard that there was a big twist. And I was doing math in my head. I was like, they need an odd number of people on the jury, which means they need an even number of people in the game because it's a final 3.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have 17 people, right, and you go final 3, then that leaves a 14-player jury, and that's even, and you can't have an even number. You also can't have multiples of 3. So if one person gets voted out, then you have 16 people, and that leaves a jury of 13, which is fine.
I totally thought about this as much as well.
Listen, I was sitting by myself after school one day for like 20 minutes and nothing better to do.
That's fair.
So this is what my brain did. Or you could have 3 people go home and have an 11-person jury. Which, that number sounds more like what it would be on a normal Survivor season. So in my house, it would be a twist, maybe 3 people going home. And I was right. I was very happy with myself. So then we get the groups for the challenge. And I've grouped these by what color they were on the challenge. And I've kind of put them on the old colors. So on pink, we have Genevieve, Aubry, Christian, Rick, and Joe. That's the first group. Then on blue, we have Cirie, Emily, Colby, Coach, and Dee. And then on orange, we have Jonathan, Stephenie, Tiffany, Kamilla, and Chrissy. During the challenge, Colby takes a huge fall onto his foot, which is injured, and goes down. But he's okay. He gives a thumbs up, even though he's rolling around the ground in pain.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff then reminds Coach about that one time he lost this challenge super dramatically to JT.
That made me happy.
So that was fun. And Coach then immediately loses again after that. Dee wins individual immunity in her group, but she steps down, which means that they will not get Applebee's.
Coach was angry about that.
Yeah.
I think he was angry about the Applebee's.
Yeah, I do. Christian wins immunity for his team, and it's him versus 3 players from the other group, and he cannot stay up. He falls, meaning Sela will get the Orange will get the Applebee's. Chrissy ends up in the end stepping down to give Stephenie the win because Chrissy can't take anywhere. So Stephenie also has individual immunity. So Stephenie, Christian, and Dee are all safe. The groups then are all split up onto different beaches, and they go back. And then we're on Exile Island. Ozzy realizes this is his first time all season not going the tribal. And that makes him very calm. He's very calm about this. He's happy about this.
And Rizzo's.
Rizzo is a little sleepy boy. Ozzy's trying to get close to Rizzo because Cirie told him to. Rizzo tells Ozzy about the idol, and they kind of form a duo there.
Mm-hmm.
The Orange group gets to the Applebee's reward and they start to eat. Tiffany talks about how she wants to vote Chrissy out with Jonathan and Kamilla. So that seems to be where that vote's going. Then, over on the pink group or purple group or whatever you want to call Vatu, Aubry wants to vote out Genevieve because of course she does. Aubry just straight up says that she's gonna use her idol. And Aubry wants to stick with Rick and Christian because that's where she got the idol from.
Yep.
Genevieve tells Joe to vote Rick and is gonna try to get Christian as the spring voter, not realizing how close Rick and Christian are with each other. Then Genevieve tries to convince Christian to vote Rick. Christian says he'll do it, but he's never planning on doing that. Christian immediately goes to tell Rick about Genevieve's plan. And Rick pitches to vote out Joe, because they're scared Genevieve has an idol. Which she would have 2 by now, if she didn't have to give them away. Joe isn't convinced that Christian's gonna flip, and Joe wonders if he's being played. Then, over on the blue group, Dee is safe and she feels good with Cirie and Emily. So in Dee's mind, the vote is between Colby and Coach. Colby still doesn't have a vote. Back from episode 1. He lost his vote and still doesn't have it because he's never gone to tribal. And because he doesn't have a vote, he can't play his shot in the dark, which is basically his only shot to save himself at this point. So Coach wants to get Emily out, but acknowledges that Colby is kind of a sitting duck. Coach lies to Dee and says that Emily said her name. And Dee immediately calls him out on that. And Dee tells Emily and says that that Coach is annoying. Dee and Emily would prefer to get Coach out because Colby has an injury and they think he's going to get medevaced soon. So if they get Coach out, then they get 2 people out instead of 1. Cirie, however, tells them to get the head of the snake, not the tail of the snake, and you have to get the head of the snake out, you need to vote Colby out. Coach is just the tail. Colby then makes a pitch to Dee that he'll pull all his past alliances and to work with Dee moving forward and make a mega alliance in the final 14 if she keeps him, which honestly, it's a good pitch. And I think Colby meant that. I think Colby would have actually tried to do that. What do you think?
What? Sorry, I dozed off for a second.
Hey, that's okay. It's 10:30 at night. Colby's pitch to Dee about how if Dee keeps him, he'll pull in his past alliances to work with Dee moving forward to make one mega alliance. I feel like that's a good pitch. And I feel like he meant it.
Mm-hmm. I think everything that came out of Colby's mouth has been true in this whole thing, including the hating Rizzo to resolving Rizzo. But I just think the closer and closer, as we saw during that tribal council meeting, the closer and closer we got to the end of this Blood Moon episode, Colby's making decisions that are giving like Yoda vibes from Star Wars. That's how I'll leave that.
That's actually like the perfect comparison. That's actually amazing. Yeah. So, back on Orange, Kamilla wants to work with Jonathan and Tiffany. Jonathan says he wants to get Chrissy out, and Kamilla seems to agree with that. Chrissy knows that she's going to be voted out and accepts it and cries and wants to leave all being friends and that nothing's personal. But really, she doesn't think any of that. That's just a facade. She doesn't think that's going to happen. She runs to Stephenie and pitches that they try to vote out Kamilla and get Jonathan the flip. Chrissy then goes to talk to Jonathan about it. And Jonathan realizes he's in the middle and he feels really good about his position moving in the tribal council.
Yep.
Then we get to tribal. And first is Orange. Orange is the first group there. And we get the votes back. And in a heartbreaking turn of events, because I was hoping Chrissy was going to go, Kamilla goes 3 votes to 2 votes. And Kamilla's out of the game. Which is really sad to me. I wanted to see Kamilla more.
Yeah. I was hesitant to, like, I really wanted to see that Dee, Tiff, and Kamilla take off. I think that was going to be, like, the, Kamilla, Kyle, like, that type of really, not, like, in the hidden way, but, like, the really strong alliance.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Kamilla's a good game player, and I would have loved to see her more, but she kind of got screwed by a swap, and that's okay.
I think practically all of these were swap screws.
I think this is the least of the swap screws.
Oh yeah, oh totally.
I think the other 2 were more swap screws than that one was. So
Yep.
Speaking of the other ones, then we get the purple team going the tribal. Genevieve ends up playing her shot in the dark. And
I was praying that wasn't gonna work.
It comes back and it's not safe. So she's now not voted and she's not safe. And she gets all 4 votes.
I can't recall. Did he check the whether the shot in the dark was good before or after people were like after? Sorry, because I'm just like I forgot if I'm pretty sure Aubry ended up not playing her idol. But did he say, like, oh, this is not safe before he said, okay, no more idols? He checked it first,
he
right?
He said, if anyone has an idol and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Then Genevieve got up and said that she played her shot in the dark. It was not safe. And then Aubry could have gotten up and said to use her idol, but she didn't have to.
I think she was just like, oh, if it was safe, she would have gone. But
Genevieve was also in a really good spot.
Mm-hmm.
Before this, like she was like in the main majority group.
Yeah, but also with Colby leaving too.
Yeah.
We wouldn't know where she would end up.
Yeah. Which, speaking of which, I'm going to spend a lot of time on this. The blue group at tribal. Colby goes down. Last one before the jury. All 4 votes on him. And there's this really emotional moment where everyone's talking about the legacy that Colby has. And he said in exit interviews that everyone knew he was going home. In the edit, they made it seem like it was they didn't know if it was him or Coach.
Yeah.
But Colby said that everyone was very aware that he was going home. He knew he was going home. Which is why he kind of like gave this like final monologue at tribal, because he knew this was it. And also this is Colby's last time playing, so this is how he goes. This is how his Survivor career ends after 4 seasons. Which little I'm gonna go on a tangent about Colby now. So strap in. Season 2 he was the original like poster boy for Survivor. He was the original cowboy. He was the original one that all the girls had crushes on. Back when he was 20 and young and hot. He got second place on that season.
And now all those girls seeing him, he's like, ooh.
Yeah, they still think so. My mom being one of them.
I do.
But then we get to season 8, and he makes it like halfway through, and kind of gets screwed by his reputation, whatever. And then season 20 comes around, and it's Heroes vs. Villains. He's not really in it. He doesn't really want to be there. And then halfway through the season, he has a little bit of a change of heart and realizes that at the end of the day, it's a game. He's there to have fun. He needs to find the joy, because he wasn't having fun that entire season. So now he came back into 50 one last time, hoping to make it far, but more importantly, hoping to have fun and find the joy in the experience, which is why on the way out, he turns around and tells the others, like, find the joy in this, find the joy in what you're doing, and he gets a standing ovation on his way out from everyone. And it's a really emotional moment, because this is likely the last time Colby will play one of these games on our television.
Yeah.
And it's really a sad way for him to go out. But at least he knew, and he was able to have his moment on the way out. That made me happy. I'm getting into my, if it goes any day now, my thoughts on where this tribe is going in the future. So now with those 3 gone, we're left with 14 people, all of which will be in the jury. And, you know, there's a few people who stand out to me as not in a great spot. Joe, for one, pretty much only has Coach at this point. Stephenie only has Chrissy, and I forgot to put it on here. She also has Ozzy, but I'm not sure if that's going to stick after how everything went with the Colby vote and stuff.
Yep.
And then Jonathan really only has Coach and Chrissy. So there's those players who aren't in a great spot. And then you see people like Cirie has a lot of connections, and Christian has a lot of connections. I think Rizo as well has a lot of connections. So it's a mixed bag. So basically what I ended up doing was I went through this diagram that I've made, and I counted up all of the positive relationships people have, all of the negative relationships people have with each other, and kind of combined those into helping me make my predictions moving forward.
Yes.
So looking at moving forward predictions, I think Jonathan's next boot. He has not too many positive connections. He has a lot of people mad at him, especially after the Kamilla vote this episode. And also in the next time on Survivor, he was yelling at someone. And also, they're not going to keep him around for challenges anymore because they want him gone. So, I think Jonathan's next. And with Jonathan gone, Coach has even less connections, and people already seem to starting to get annoyed with him. So I think he's not going to be long after that. And then once Coach is gone, Joe's all alone. So Joe's not long after that. And that kind of forces Chrissy and Stephenie on their own little island where they're going to get not go too well. After that, I think Ozzy's going to go. People are going to look at him as a threat. And he has to go eventually. I don't think people are going to let him stick around. And then surprisingly, I was looking at it, right? And going back to the graph from before, Vic's not in a great spot. He has Christian, he has Emily, he has Aubry. But that's really it. And people aren't going to want to keep both Christian and Vic in this game. And then also the trios there they're not gonna want to keep the trios. So I think they're gonna want to get one of them out, and it's gonna be Vic. Also Vic's screen time has been questionable recently in the episodes, so there's also that. Then I think Dee's gonna go. I think no one's gonna want to take a winner to the end, and Dee's not too insulated with anyone. And then
the thing with Dee is that no one's really. Besides Jonathan, no one's really targeted her much at this game.
Not really, no. And then I think once Dee's gone, Tiffany's not long after.
Yeah.
Then I think Christian is going to be next, because I think he's going to get screwed by being too good. I think he's playing too well, and people are going to want to get him out because he's a target.
Yep.
And it's not going to go well for him. And at this point with who's left, you basically have Cirie and Rizo versus Emily, Aubry, and Christian. I think what's going to happen is Cirie and Rizo are going to be smart and use their social skills to get someone on board and flip on Christian.
Yep.
And then once Christian's gone, both Aubry and Emily are kind of on their own, and they can just be picked off. And looking at it between them, if you're Cirie and Rizo, are you going to want to take Emily to Final 3, or are you going to want to take Aubry to Final 3?
Emily, because she hasn't done anything this game.
Exactly. So Aubrey's 4th. And then that's why Emily's 3rd. And then I think Rizo's playing a great game. And I think if he continues where he's going, I think he deserves to win. But quite frankly, if he's sitting next to Cirie at the win, no one's beating Cirie at the end.
Yeah.
Cirie has a great 5-season arc. And she's considered to be the best to never win. If she's sitting in that Final 3, she's winning.
She's winning.
What do you think, Aidan? Do you have any additional thoughts on winner picks or next boots after all this?
I think Rizzo's gonna get emotional in the ending and in 3. It's like, guys, it's just been a great experience. Go vote Cirie. Don't vote Emily. Well, that's how I would want him to say that. But I think, like, him losing to Cirie in the end would be like, I know, like, Jenna's the 1 and he's the 49, but, like, that would feel like that whirlwind of, like, everything, like, kind of like, I don't want to say, like, resolving, because that's not the right word. Or is it?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like, it would just be like a full circle thing. And I think they would take Rizo back for another season.
Oh, they so would. I think they love Rizo.
Yeah. And I think a bunch of the people love Rizo too.
I think Rizzo is akin to what Rupert used to be.
I just don't think Rizzo's the guy to play the game now. Like, Rizo doesn't seem like the guy that can be like a Colby who can play in his 40s.
I don't think anyone thought Colby was going to be playing in his 40s. And actually, he's in his 50s now, Colby.
Yeah, that's true. But, like, I just feel like Rizo, he can play till 35.
You never know. Maybe something happens in a future season where all of a sudden that changes. You never know.
Yeah.
Who do you think's next boot?
Okay, I'm just gonna look at everyone at the same time to help my brain make a decision. Yeah, there we go. Well, I'm just gonna go through each person. If you want to go to that season standings chart, I don't know if you're there, but
I'm already there.
Perfect. I'll talk about each person.
Right.
Maybe. Cirie, I think, is in a fine spot. Rizo, I'm not going to talk about each person.
That lasted long.
Because I'm just, like, people that, like, they could be targets, but just have no reason to be. Like, Joe is one of them. Stephenie's one of them. Like, people that haven't, like, done nothing wrong, where, like, you could go for them, but, like, meh. Tiffany, no one's going for her. Cirie, no one's going for her. Like, those are all like, a bunch of people have been, like, those are names that, like, have never really been on the chopping block much. Well, that's not true for some of them, but, like, just with, like, they could be in talk, but as of right now, like, unless they do something stupid, which, frankly, is always possible, I think they're all fine. I think Emily might talk too much, and because right now Christian's had the first-hand Emily experience of her talking too much, and I think Rick Devens is personally closer with Emily than Christian is, and he's gonna witness. I think she's gonna say something stupid, and then Rick Devens is gonna realize that, and she's gonna get cut out, and Aubrey's gonna kind of get like put in.
Okay.
And I think they're gonna think they're in the middle, but people are gonna notice that, and like, I want to see Tiff do something big.
I feel like Tiff's been very understated this season. I didn't see 46 to know how she was in that season.
I'm a little surprised because her and Q were like a dynamic duo. Mm-hmm. But then again, she was like 8th in that season.
Yeah, neither of them did particularly well, but they were well received. Mm-hmm.
Q and Tiff, they were both pretty liked, and Q and Tiff also they were in the tribe that like. Well, they had a trio, Q, Tiff, and a girl named Kenzie, and Kenzie ended up winning 46.
Yep.
And then 3 were like the final 3 from their original tribe, because their tribe lost every immunity in a row, and like caused the merge early. Or not a merge, but like a tribe swap. Mm-hmm. And they had really bad luck in their season. And then, so I think Tiff her cards have been dealt better this season than last.
All right.
So, hopeful to see what she does with that.
All right. So now, looking at where the draft stands right now between me and Paige, we have on Paige's team, she's lost 4 players. Left over, she has Cirie with an extra vote, Rick, Christian with the possibility of getting an idol returned to him, Stephenie, Jonathan, Aubry with an idol, Rizo with an idol, and Tiffany. Mm-hmm. Standing at 101 points. What do you think of where Paige is right now? What do you think of her chances?
I think she's in a good spot right now. I think the Devens and Christian I think the weakest link on her tribe right now is Aubry and Jonathan. I think everyone else is in a pretty solid state. I think Devens might fall apart too soon.
Yeah, it's dangerous saying Jonathan's gonna fall apart when you're talking about Paige, because I've been telling this to Paige since a week before episode 1 came out, and he's still here. So
mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I've learned my lesson there, although I do think he's next out. And Paige, if you're listening, you can fight me on this.
Yeah, but also like especially like since like in this Survivor 50 theme, this is a Survivor period theme. The big guys tend to go when the merge happens because you don't need them for the big things.
Yeah, and you don't want them to win all the challenges.
Mm-hmm. But this is when like the merge, they're in the merge, but like also until like there's fewer people, it's the merge, but like 2 teams still. Like it'll be like a bunch of drawing rocks.
Yeah.
And that's when you want Jonathan. But then if you don't have Jonathan, that's when you're mad that you don't have Jonathan.
Or if you have Jonathan and you lose.
Mm-hmm. Or even if you have Jonathan and you win the first part, you know you can't beat him when it comes to just the individual immunity.
Yeah. Yeah. I unfortunately agree with you. I think Paige is in a really good spot with this draft. And then if we cut over to me...
Yep.
It's falling apart a little bit. I lost 3 players in 1 episode.
He's a little messy too. Like this one, you got a few like people that have like their names have been like Ozzy's name's been thrown out. Joe, Rick doesn't like him. Coach, Ozzy doesn't like him. Dee has kind of been under. Yeah, and then Chrissy and Emily. Well, Emily, I keep saying Emily's that, but that's just because I don't like her.
Which is also playing horribly.
Yeah, that's totally true.
And then Chrissy I feel like's been doing fine, but I'm worried about Chrissy because they don't show Chrissy ever. And
Yeah.
I know from Instagram, Chrissy's mad that she's not in any of these episodes.
Yeah.
But that makes me concerned for her potential to go far in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not feeling great. I have less players than Paige does right now, but I have more points.
Yes.
Paige has 101. I have 108 as of now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not impossible for me to win. However, I did run the math based off of my predictions, and Paige beats me in the landslide if my predictions are right. So
Yeah.
so it's not. Just it's not. That's it.
Yep. Period.
I mean, Ozzy, I feel like, is in a pretty good spot, and Joe could be if he pulls it together a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But like, also, like, if Joe gets to the final three, what has he done this game? That can win $1 million. Nothing.
Nothing, but he can get me points by making it to the final three, so I don't care.
That's fair.
Dee's in a pretty good spot, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Coach could maybe, if he pulls off a miracle, pull something together. But yeah, I there's a lot of... Most of my players are not in good spots, but they could be if they pull off a miracle.
Yeah.
And only so many miracles can happen, so it's not looking great.
Well, it's Survivor 50.
Anything can happen. And hey, Mr. Beast is still pulling up with a briefcase at some point soon.
Yeah, and they just did something like, I just saw something recently, so it could be...
And Jimmy Fallon still's got to do something.
I think, yeah.
So, I like how we got Billie Eilish and Zach Brown, like, right off the bat, and now it's just, like...
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, nothing. They can only be nothing for so long.
Yeah. I was just watching before we started recording. I was just watching an interview with Rob Sesternino interviewing Mr. Beast about the Beast Games and Survivor Collab.
Mm-hmm.
And he also seems to have not liked the Zach Brown episode.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying, like, give it a chance. It's not just it's not stupid wasting your time, because I know that the show's about the people and I respect that, and it's not about me. I didn't monologue at the camera for ages. I kept to the show, and it actually has an impact on the game. Please, it's good. I trust. That's what he said. So.
And I'm pretty sure I saw a stat. I think, if I'm correct, Zach Brown in that one episode has had more confessionals than Chrissy the entire season so far.
That is true.
Yep.
That is accurate information, because I also saw that. Yeah, so it's interesting. So, you know, we'll see what happens there. And Jimmy Fallon apparently also seems very excited about his twist, whatever the hell that is. So, we'll see what happens there, but it's gonna be interesting. But also something interesting, that this is also coming from Rob Sesternino in a different video that I saw a while ago. Based off of the preseason trailer that they released, where we learned about all these twists were gonna be happening. Yeah. He pointed something out.
Mm-hmm.
We learned about the Billie Eilish boomerang idol in the trailer.
We did.
From Rick Devens talking about, which makes it seem like he's involved in some way in the Billie Eilish boomerang idol, but he is not in any way involved.
Mm-hmm.
And we find out about Zach Brown being on the island through Rizo talking about Zach Brown being on the island, but Rizo never doesn't win that reward. He's not involved in Zach Brown in any way, shape, or form.
That's weird.
But the reason I bring this up is because, well, we find out Mr. Beast is there through Mr. Beast appearing there. No one tells us about Mr. Beast being there.
Mm-hmm.
What does happen is Christian has a line about, and now my game is going to be decided by Jimmy Fallon. But if Rick had nothing to do with the boomerang idol, and Rizzo had nothing to do with Zach Brown, maybe it's all a misdirect, and Christian has nothing to do with the Jimmy Fallon bit.
Okay, and then who would be the opposite of Christian to have that? Emily.
Well, it would have to be someone in relation to Christian, whether it's someone that's working with Christian or someone that Christian's trying to get out.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I just want Emily to get booted.
I can tell. Also, I have a theory that I want to propose before it happens. So, and this is about Mr. Beast, by the way. Because we're doing the math, right? The finale is on May 20th.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 episodes left, including the finale. Assuming that the finale is final 6 like it usually is. If we were to eliminate one player until then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that would bring us to finale being final 8. Which is 2 more than it usually is.
Yeah, they're gonna have double votes. I'm not surprised about that.
Yeah, so something's gonna happen. My theory, right, is have you seen Beast Games, the show on Amazon Prime?
No.
Alright.
I've seen, like,
bits and pieces.
Stuff.
Bits and bobs. So,
gets and jiggles.
on both seasons of that show, Jimmy had a coin. Right? And he gave it to one of the players and said, you can flip this coin. If it lands on heads, the 5 million cash prize for whoever wins will double to 10 million.
$2 million.
If it lands on tails, you're eliminated from the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either doubling the price for everyone or eliminating someone.
There's gonna be something like that.
So Jimmy walks up to the island now in the Survivor trailer with a briefcase, and if you've watched the opening like the intro to the show where like shows all the players and their names and whatever, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
In the intro, we see a Mr. Beast coin being flipped through the air. My theory is that in that briefcase that Jimmy walks up with,
it's a
in
coin.
the trailer, it's the coin, and he's gonna say, if someone flips this coin, it has a potential to double the prize money to 2 million. Because think about did you see season 40 Winners at War?
No.
That season they had a 2 million cash prize, just up front. But for 50, we only have 1 million? That doesn't make sense.
Now, who would do the coin, though? Q would totally.
But Q's not there.
I know.
It would be like a Jonathan, or a Coach, or an Ozzy, or a Rizo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
I think Rizo would, like, talk it up like, oh, guys, I got this, and then he wouldn't do it.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
We have to lose people somehow.
Yeah.
Because we have 2 extra people than what we should have.
Mm-hmm.
Which means either there's a double somewhere, or something else happens. So what if someone flips this coin, they miss it, and they're eliminated?
I think it's going to be both. One of each.
I that's my theory.
Or it's gonna be something like, I have a boat to another island. Only so and so. What? There's 14 people in it.
14 people right now.
Let's say it's next episode. Only 11 of you can get on this boat. No, not. Only 12 of you can get on this boat. So then he's like, you can either choose to do it, and then if you do it, then you're safe, and you have, like, immunity or something. And then the other people, it might be, like, randomized. There was another thing that I thought of that, like, 99.9 infinitely won't happen. I just feel like it's a really good idea one day to do, like, second place gets immunity, but you don't tell them that.
I feel like people are going to be mad about that.
Yeah, that's fair.
That feels like the type of thing that people wouldn't be happy about.
That's true. Whoops.
It's fine. All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it for this. And Aidan Seabrook. But I hope you guys enjoyed me and Aidan rambling for between the 2 episodes. It's been almost 3 hours. I'm going to try to keep it weekly, whether Aidan's here or not. I'm going to try to keep this weekly from now on so that we don't have 2-hour-long episodes recapping everything. Hopefully at some point I'll find time where Paige is available, get her on here. There might be some other people I know some other people have been watching and may be interested in coming on at some point. So between me, Aidan, Paige, maybe some other faces, hopefully you'll be seeing more of us on a weekly basis instead of once every 6 episodes. But thank you for coming on, Aidan.
Thanks for having me.
Hopefully we'll talk about this again at some point soon, and hopefully we won't have a janky setup, which I forgot to mention at the top of this. There were some tech issues last second. We have a very, very janky setup. So
I've been looking at I think it's the ceiling.
No, it's the top lid of a pizza box.
Yep, 4 hours.
Yeah, and they can see the top lid of my pizza box in a tiny frame on the screen.
Great.
They can also see all my Google tabs. So
a lot, assuming.
It's actually only 1 because all my tabs are split up into different windows.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a very janky setup. Hopefully next time we can figure out something more permanent. So we won't have this one because Aidan is also very small on the screen. but it's fine. We'll hopefully work something out to get a better setup, because also the audio of Aidan you've been hearing this entire time has been feeding out of my iPhone and into my microphone.
Nice.
So it's as jank as jank can be, but it's fine. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all the things. Come back at some point in the next week for at least mine, maybe Aidan's, I don't know, or someone else's. Or just me. I don't know. We'll find out. Episode 7 recap and thoughts on that. And I'll have updated predictions after that episode and updated draft, whatever, yada, yada, yada. I've been Anderson Ross here with Aidan Robilotta, reminding you to be smart, be safe, and love one another. Take care.